Here in the United States, the Senate will return from their Thanksgiving break with one thing on their mind: the new tax reform bill. Republicans say their plan will be great for everyone, especially the middle class, but Democrats say it's only great for big companies and the richest Americans. Brianna Keeler explains how it all works.
Republicans are hard at work trying to overhaul the tax system.
We're working to give the American people a giant tax cut for Christmas.
And it has a giant price tag, $1.5 trillion over 10 years. Even as Republicans argue questionably that economic growth will help cancel out the big addition to the national debt, it's a costly plan for Republicans like House Speaker Paul Ryan, who have built their brand on fiscal conservatism.
We face a crushing burden of debt, which will take down our economy.
That was back in 2011 when Ryan was House Budget Chairman. In 2013, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell called the debt and deficit
the transcendent issue of our era. Until we fix that problem, we can't fix America.
But now Republicans are championing a plan that many deficit hawks say is anything but fiscally responsible. The tax plan's $1.5 trillion price tag is a lowball figure. It's the price tag they need to come under in order to use special Senate rules requiring them to need only 51 votes. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, a fiscally conservative advocacy group, puts the real cost at $2.2 trillion.
There are a lot of gimmicks they're slipping into the bill to make the costs look less than they actually are.
Here's one major gimmick. While the corporate tax cuts would be permanent, the tax cuts for American taxpayers would expire after 10 years, on paper anyway, even though it's expected Congress would ultimately just make the cuts permanent. That fishy math allows Republicans to claim a smaller price tag.
On one hand, they're saying, sure, there's all these expiring tax breaks, but don't worry, we fully intend to extend them and you won't have to worry about your taxes going up. And on the other hand, they're saying, don't worry about the cost of the bill. Sure, we're borrowing $1.5 trillion, which I would say everybody should be worrying about, but we're not going beyond that limit, when really they are.
Some Republicans say they are not quite as committed to this charade that the bill won't add more than $1.5 trillion to the deficit, such as retiring Senator Bob Corker.
If I believe it's going to add the deficit, I'm not going to vote for it.
Critics say it will add significantly to the deficit, just as the Bush tax cuts did, exactly what Republicans warned against in the past.
It is unconscionable to leave the next generation with a crushing burden of debt in a nation in decline. Washington's obsession with the next election has come at the expense of the next generation.
There is also a dubious promise that the White House is making about the tax overhaul. The congressional liaison for the White House, Mark Short, saying that every income bracket will see a decrease in taxes and every working family will see a decrease. That is not fully true. Independent analysis shows that American families earning less than $75,000 a year are over time going to pay more in taxes. Brianna Keeler, CNN, Washington.